Alright, well now it's off to Shanghai for another one of my little track walk videos here. Hopefully you'll like it. I will say this is a track that really rewards a left foot breaker. If you're on a pedal set, if you're on a controller, you know, how well can you use the gas and brake and kind of overlap them. And to some degree, like kind of gas brake around a corner. But if you watch my data traces on the bottom, particularly around these long twisting corners, it's a track that really rewards how well can you use half, 2/3 throttle. It's also a track that, depending on how fresh your tires are, how much aero you have in the car, even how much fuel's in the car, beginning of the race or end of the race, it can really alter how hard can you go around some of these long sweeping corners. So of course the point of this is just to give you some indexes and markers, and maybe you brake a little earlier than me, a little later than me. If it's raining, like the race I ran, I don't have a good race lap, but I'm going to show here at the beginning because it was a torrential downpour for the whole race, and of course that changes some of your brake marks. But it is a track that can reward you like any track will when you finally get it right, and so hopefully this will help you find some references for some of those really long corners and help you master this track. And hopefully you'll enjoy this video, and give me a like on the bottom if you enjoyed it. Comment with any advice you may want to give. Alright, here we go.
Okay, super job so far. We're getting great data.
So
stay focused.
We're going to have a really hard initial brake, and watch the braking as it lightens up. I'll talk about that later. Use a little bit of gas, just kind of get through the corner. I don't have a picture for this later. Car placement, I mean, you want to be a little bit left to center, I think, as you come down that hill. So you'll have to go back and watch that to get my turning point later. Now, I count, how you count is going to determine how long you go past 50. I count to about 1, and then a really hard brake for just a very moment, and then I kind of trail brake it. Go watch a separate video on that. Notice there is there's a red board on the right that I didn't take a picture of. There's an access road on the right. And you want to hold it track right as you go by here, and then start letting the car go wide. Notice I'm going wide. There's a grass patch, and the track is turning right ahead of me. As I go by that grass patch, I start slowing down, and now the track is turning away, is what I meant to say. The track is turning sharper, and you notice here it's really getting sharp, and there's a spot as it sharpens up. You have to make a really hard, sharp right, and then a really, really quick turn to the left at the bottom of the hill to make this next turn, and then hold that curve that's on your left as long as you can. And be very, very careful. This is the hardest section of the track to put power down. I mean, you got a lot of wheel in the car. You're going about as slow as you'll go on the whole track. And I used to make a mistake under that Pirelli bridge of going left and not, or going right and not left. Here's our next section of track. This is a lot simpler, a little hairpin. And I could have been further track right than that. Notice I got a little bit wiggly coming off. I'll brake after this around the, just into the curb, maybe a car length into the curb, just past the yellow. Tires and conditions depending. Turn left towards the end of the curb, aiming for the right-hand curb, and there's a little bit of curb on the inside you can use. There's even a little bit of a patch inside the curb you can touch. Just be careful putting the power down, straighten up the wheel, let the car get out nice and wide, let the car go where it wants to an extent, and just start pulling it back to the right. Now this is a challenging set of corners right here that we're running right now. We have to really time it and kind of sacrifice a little bit of one corner for the other, but don't take my word sacrifice to an extreme. Basically hold the car track left as hard as you can, but be on the gas so hard that it steps out ahead. Now, notice where we're going to start our turn in is where the end of the curb and the access road is. I've already got a little bit of wheel in it, and depending on if your tires and fuel load and whatnot, you might need to lift a little bit. I don't know if it's necessary to be on the curves, but you want to be track left as you go under the bridge. As you go under the bridge, you can let the car kind of step out a couple car widths off the inside of the track and go to the right side. But do not enter from all the way track left or right. I use trail braking. Again, go look up a separate video on that. And I kind of trail brake around this corner. And once I get the car slowed down, I just kind of use maintenance throttle. Notice there's very little green. Just kind of nurse the car around. And you can hustle the car at the corner exit. Just kind of floor it for just a moment. And then you will be flooring it as you approach that DHL board and that access road. Hard brake and then a hard left. Notice my steering input here in just a moment. A very hard left turn to get to the curb. And then I'm going to start opening the wheel up a little bit after this point. They do get on you about track limits here, so be aware of that. You can cross that curb carefully. I say you actually need to get a better run down the next straightaway. I've already taken some wheel out. My eyes were always down to straightaway. Using that curb, maybe. You can use a little bit of track limits on the exit, but bring it back in really quick. So looking down the straightaway. Now, coming down into the next corner. This is a spot where it's another sacrificed corner. You know, hold track left, kind of set up the last corner. Generally speaking, in a sequence like this, the last corner is the most important to get a nice run off of it. Not always true, but it's a really good guideline. Now we'll go back and take a look at how we want to set that up. So notice there's an access road coming in, and I'm going to brake just after that 100 into the curbs. And I'm going to hold nice, straight, late braking, very hard. And I'm going to turn in. That curb can kind of screw you up. I mean, you can kiss it, but I wouldn't be aggressive with it. And hold track left after you go around the corner. Don't be too excited to get back on the gas, because if you enter this corner from the right, you're going to really be in a bad spot. You're probably going to spin out even, because you're going to get back on the grass too hard. So you want to enter from the left half of the track, and you kind of kiss that curb that was on our right earlier, and then the car ends up being wide. You want to be on, like, aiming for the inside, but on the gas so hard the car can't quite get there. Now you need a reference. It's a long turn. It's hard to find a reference, but there's a little TV behind the guardrail and a paved cutout, and you want to be getting wide open throttle, or as close to wide open throttle as you can when you see that paved cutout in the TV. Now, next straightaway, it's really easy to get mesmerized. Notice I used a lot of curve. Get the wheel straight as soon as you can, but actually I want to back that up a little bit. You want to hold the wheel sharp all the way around that hairpin turn. And so when you open up the wheel, you actually open it up really fast. If you open up too soon, you're going to be in trouble. Okay, now note the Rolex bridge. It's a good thing to watch as you come down the straightaway, but then once you get to the bridge and you see it really well, you want to brake past that 100. Turn nice and late and hold, or notice how sharp. I've got opposite lock wheel in, basically. And abuse this curve. Short turn, you want to take some distance out of it. So hold the wheel sharp as long over that curb. And the thing is, if you open up the wheel too soon, you're going to jump over that outside curb, and then you're going to be in trouble. So you want to kind of stay into track there, I think. And then as you come off the straightaway, you can hustle. You can notice that bridge. You're going to brake past the bridge. Probably count to 1 again as you go under it. Brush the brakes, downshift, turn late, but not too late. And then you can really abuse the track limits as long as you get the car back inside the curbs by the end of the curve there.
You're in the top 10 now.
You know, basically as long as you're near the track, they'll let you get away with it on regular corner pedestrians. So I'm going to be quiet now and let you watch this lap. And I like this because you notice that there's a pattern where the water's kind of cleared off the track, and it really helps you see the line. Hopefully that helps you out. Keep learning and having fun, as my coach likes to say.
The tyre situation is an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got right now. Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilize some of this energy.